to another video. So today's video we are going to be having a look at a few tips for terraforming. So as always, this is the Poke Crossings channel. I'm Charlotte and let's get into the video. Every time I come here, Goose is getting snacks out of that machine. I'm not confident that he's as clean eating as he says he is. He reckons he's dead healthy with these 6-packs and everything. I'm not sure he is. Although I did buy him the most banging muscle suit the other day. I have got a picture. I'll pop a picture up on the video because it was hilarious. Alright, so let's get into the video. So, terraforming. You unlock terraforming after your island gets 3 stars. So it takes a little bit to get to that point, but make sure you keep talking to Isabel and she'll give you the different things that you need to do to get there. Obviously, once you have got there, KK Slider himself turns up, and once he has performed on your island, that is when you then unlock terraforming. So it's actually an app that goes into your phone, so it looks like this. So it pops up like this. Start construction, and it puts you into a little helmet, a little working suit. So for terraforming, you have 3 different modes available. You have got this bit here, which is creating the paths. So you've got each individual path. So you start with grass and dirt, I think, is the 2 that you start with. The rest of these that you have to buy, and I think it costs 2,000 nut miles, and you can buy them at the ATM thing in the resident services. This one here, again, it costs 2,000 or 2,500, I think. And then this one allows you to lay down custom designs. So custom designs are, it's anything that you've basically designed. There's some really cool ones in the online in the community. So like these dinosaur footprints here, they're a custom design. So that's kind of like stage, or the first stage if you like. And then from there you have the waterscaping permit and the cliff construction permit. So these 2 again you have to buy, and I think they're 6,000 nut miles. And again, exactly the same process. You buy them from the ATM and it gets added to the app. So it does take quite a lot of nut miles to unlock the full potential of this terraforming, but it's worth it. There's some really good custom designs, really good things you can do. So my number 1 piece of advice to start with this is just have fun and take it steady. It's really, really easy to get overwhelmed with terraforming. Like when I first got it, I kind of was just there what am I going to do with it? I have no idea of what to do, where to put anything, and it's, you see some amazing, absolutely incredible islands, and you feel totally overwhelmed. So the first thing I would say is you take it easy, pick one area at a time, and just focus on getting that area exactly how you want it. So for me, my first area was just getting some sort of path created and making a little bit more of an area around my shops, so my shopping district. And I went through all the paths and I settled on the terracotta. And the terracotta path is now my main path throughout my island. And that's again what I would say, if you pick one type of path and use it cohesively throughout your island, it really helps to make your island feel completely together. So the terracotta path I use for all my shopping area. This brick area is set with the with these 2, man. Is set with the resident services. You can't actually change this, and you can't merge the paths to it. So you're kind of stuck with that brick area, but it looks alright. And then from there, like I said, back to the terracotta, and I have this running throughout my kind of main part of my island, if you like. So pick one, stick with it, and it'll help to give you a really cohesive theme through your island. I feel anyway. Use as many as you want, obviously, it's your island. So there's some really creative ways you can use the path. So you can see on here, I've got with a lot of straight lines on my paths, and then over this side I've just rounded some edges off to give it a bit more of a kind of artistic feel. And this edging, this again, I can't take credit for it. Somebody really, really talented did it online. It's just a QR code, so it's actually a custom path that I overlaid on top to give it like an edge to it. So yeah, it's worth giving it a try. But there's some more creative ways that you can use pathing. I'm going to show you a couple on this blank area here. So one that I've seen quite a lot is people creating kind of like a boardwalk area. So you could do this to kind of either singles like this. So you kind of colouring in a couple of squares, leaving a couple of squares. Or if you want to make it so it's a bit more noticeable, I'd say, is do it double. You can even make it longer if you're covering like a big area, and then missing that same gap out, and doing it again. So you're then getting almost like gives you almost like a boardwalk feel, I guess. And this can help to create a few more like interesting kind of pathways. Another one that I've seen that I really like, if I just turn this back into a square, is you can actually like curve the edges and it makes it more of a circle. So you do your square first, then get your character, you spin them around, hit that A button, and it just rounds the edges off. And it gives you that circle shape like that. So again, you could do, like here, you've got like the 3 lines, you could actually do like circle, circle, circle. And it just helps to give you that a bit more creative feel as well. So yeah, there's loads you can do with the path. You can also do exactly the same but with like little blocks. So have one there, maybe have one here, another one over here. So you know, that I think would be, I think I'm going to use this sort of path like this for my camping area. So yeah, it'll just, again, gives you those like different style paths. And it can make it a little bit more creative and a little bit more interesting than just having like a normal kind of solid block path going through everywhere. But it just kind of depends on what you're after. There's loads of options with paths, so just experiment, see how you feel, and also try getting some custom designs to overlay on top of it as well, because I think they can actually look really, really good. So moving along, we will change it up to waterscaping. So with the water, this is all for you, like the rivers and waterfalls. So I find the best way to kind of design your rivers is have them as rounded as possible. I don't like having really sharp kind of right angles in my river. I'm trying to maintain kind of as much of a natural feel as possible. So that's why my islands are kind of like all kind of like soft around the edges. There's not too many sharp edges. Now over here you can see I've actually created what I call a land bridge. So it doesn't affect the way that your river flows at all, but it just means that you can create a nice bridge that you can actually cover with a path. So again, it feels really cohesive with the rest of your design. But also it doesn't cost anything as well. So obviously when you're building bridges, they're quite expensive, and the only way to kind of move the position of a bridge is to demolish it and then pay again to build it somewhere else. So I think, especially when you're starting out your design, land bridges are a really good way just to kind of get an idea of how you want to kind of link up different parts of your island. And then if you like it and you want to upgrade it to something more permanent later on, then obviously you can do so without that cost of having to then move it again later on. But I actually quite like the land bridge because, like I said, you can have the path running along it and it feels actually quite cohesive, and it doesn't affect in any way the way the river flows. So I don't know why you wouldn't give that a try. The other option as well, like I've got up here, is to create little stepping stones. So you can actually jump across small gaps. So I've got like a little stepping stone here, and they're really easy to create. So you just build yourself out into the river, and then you just literally turn around and like push it, like crunch it away like that. So then straight away you've got yourself a little stepping stone. And you can have as many of them as you want. You can also have them kind of going that way. Depends what you're kind of after, but I think they're a nice little way to again cross a river, but this time they feel a little bit more natural, a little bit more rural, and I have them up here in my forest and campsite area. So it's like it keeps it that kind of nice natural feel, I guess, without having too many bridges and things built into the area. So moving on to the final bit of terraforming is your cliffs. So again, I like to have nice and rounded cliffs. I feel it makes it quite natural. The good thing about this is you can actually build the ramps into the cliffs. So if I bring you around here, you see I'm just waiting for my residents to pay it off, but I've actually built the ramp into the cliff, so instead of it sticking out like this way, it's actually going to sit in there quite nicely, and again it just makes it feel a little bit more natural. So the way to do this is, if you've got your cliff, is to kind of build into it, and then get your pack from Mr. Tom Nook himself, and ask to imagine it when you put it up, and just make sure you're happy with how it fits into the cliff. So if I show you over here, you can see it again, rather than having it fully into the cliff, I've kind of poked it into the cliff and then rounded the cliff around each side, so it just sits into that cliff much nicer. So I'll show you, I'll go to my kind of spare area and I will build some.
Alright guys, so skipping along to the cliff construction. Now my face has now disappeared and that is because I'm going to actually speed up the video, because I don't want you guys sat watching this video for like hours on end while I'm building this cliff. So as you're watching this, you'll probably see it's a bit more like a time lapse. So with the cliffs, you can build your cliffs up to 4 levels. But the 4th level is utterly useless. You can't climb onto it, you can't put anything there, you can't do anything with it. So I'm not really sure the point of it. I also saw someone built a 4th level cliff, and then they popped a balloon and the balloon got like stuck on the top of it. So they couldn't get it, and they couldn't do anything with it. So now they're just stuck with this balloon on basically on like a pedestal. And what, Goosey Lucy, what are you thinking about, my main man? How much do you want? Come on. Goose! Cost me 3 grand this pot rack. Oh, see as though you're my favourite. Go on. Yeah. Go on. You can have it for it. See as though you're my fave. I will give you it. But it did cost me 3 G's, just so you know. Alright, so anyway, back to the cliff. So this counts as level 1. Up here is your 2nd level. And then we can now build effectively the 3rd level. So guys, with the cliffs, you can't build the cliff like right to the edge. It's got to have at least 1 block kind of inwards, if you like. So you can see if I try and build it there, it kind of just skips out. So this is as high as the practical cliffs can go. Now they look pretty good. My main kind of piece of advice with the cliffs is to make it look as natural as possible. You want to round off the edges. And you can see it just rounds it off like that, and it gives it, I think it gives it more of a natural feel. But you know, it's your island, do what you like with it, but you know, you can really create some interesting kind of pathways and stuff by building cliffs up either side of it. Now, moving on from the kind of cliffscaping, you've got the waterscaping permit. So, and with this, the main thing that I like to do is to build waterfalls. Now, waterfalls make everything look good. So, you can't really go too far wrong with a waterfall. So we're going to make a 2-level waterfall here. There's a start off there. And again, it's got to be one kind of block in from the side. Now with the waterfalls, what I really don't like is when it just kind of runs into nothing. So I think it's really worth making kind of a little kind of pool around it, like a little plunge pool area. And again, like I said with the cliffs, I think it'll look much better if you kind of keep it nice and rounded. So get your shape first, and then you can start to kind of round the corners off and create more kind of an area. Even just that little kind of pool there looks way better than if it was like a square pool. And this can create some really kind of nice features in your kind of areas. So yeah, you can create like multiple waterfalls. So if I go up here, so you know, this can have like waterfalls each side of it. Maybe not, it might not work this way. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you've got 4 waterfalls coming down from the thing then. And you can do the same on that top level as well. And you can make some really interesting kind of like Zen garden features or anything like that. And I really think with terraforming it's kind of worth experimenting with, because it can feel like really, really overwhelming. And the controls are quite, well, I'll be honest, I think they're rubbish. The controls for terraforming are the most frustrating set of controls I've ever known. For it to be the same button, no matter, like for on and off, if you like, I just think it's absolutely ludicrous when you've got so many buttons on a controller. But yeah, like this whole stack here now has got waterfalls running the whole way around it. So it allows you to create some really nice features to your island, and it can really start to make something that looks a little bit different, but just don't get too overwhelmed by it, guys. The key is to enjoy it and to have fun with it. And you know, if you build something and you think, oh, that's lame, I hate the look of that, just change it up, you know what I mean? Just redo it or mix it up again. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you just take your time, enjoy it. If you get burnt out, stop, come back. It's your island at the end of the day, you know. People are putting hours and hours and hours into their islands, and some of them look absolutely insane. But it doesn't matter if that's not your island. Like, my island's pretty bare and pretty basic, but I really like it, so just gotta go with what you've got, haven't you, and just slowly chip away at it. Alright guys, I hope I've given you some inspiration or some things to think about in terms of terraforming or what you can do for your island, how to create some more interesting paths, rivers, cliffs. Let me know in the comments what you're going to try, what area of your island are you working on at the minute. I'd love to kind of see, you know, what you're up to at the minute. So yeah, drop it in the comments. As always, hit that like button, hit subscribe. Let's keep growing, let's keep building a little community together. And I will see you tomorrow in the next video.